What is up, you guys? Welcome back to another video. My name is Chris, as always with me, Liam. And today we are diving into Season 2, Episode 4 of Apple TV's Silo. This episode had a lot in it. Cannot wait to share what we saw, unpack a little bit of it. We had a lot of information dumped on us, a lot of action, a lot of scheming happening. And so if you guys love the episode, let us know by dropping a 1 in the comment that you love this episode, and let's dive in. What do you think? Sometimes you're just like a statue. I look over, and then I look over and you're just like, yep.
Still, plug-in challenge.
Yes, plug him in. Here we go. Someone forgot to turn the on switch on him. Turn his automatron back on. I'm interested to see. We had so many people subscribe lately. I'm interested to know, where are you subscribing from? You don't have to say like your address or anything. I'm not asking you that. But like, you know, we're in Arizona, right? We're in the United States. We're in Arizona. Where are you from? I'd love to know down in the comments. Let us know where you're tuning in from to see just like, you know, where everyone is. So let us know.
Steven Zahn definitely kind of stole the show for me.
I think his character was crucial in this episode for information.
You think?
There was little things he was dropping throughout this whole episode where it was like, okay.
What were some of the ones you were picking up on?
So it started with the numbers on the chalkboard. Mm-hmm. So they're in a classroom for people who are supposed to be, you know, my oldest son's age, like 11 years old, right? 10, 11, 12 maybe. So the equations on the board don't make sense. So they look more like dates now than equations. So I'm trying to figure out what he really knows about him and why he's so keen to have her erase them as if to get rid of evidence. And then the other thing that really kind of like put a light bulb on for me is that he's been making a lot of this stuff up, about himself, up the entire time, in my opinion, because he says when we first meet him that he's the shadow of IT, right? And that's how he has access to the vault and he was asked to protect it. I don't think that's true. Mm-hmm. I think he was a child when the revolution happened. He was actually 11, 12 years old. That's why he had the step next to that girl in class. When everything went down, the revolution happened, his father was the actual IT shadow. And
He was the father of the shadow.
And his father he basically took on the persona of his father when he got left alone for so long. And so that's why he doesn't know if things are real. He's basically acts like an 11-year-old. When you really get to like think about it, he's talking about the circus and elephants and like his mind is that of like a conversation I would have with one of my kids. And so I think that he was a young child, maybe of someone important like that shadow of IT or the leader of the order in that silo. I'm not going to fall out already. And that ultimately he's not actually who he says he is. That's what I'm kind of thinking right now based off of some of that interaction that they had, is that like he was a young kid when that happened and he never matured past that. But the other thing too is the eyes. He won't talk about why his eyes had to change, or his one eye changed colors, which was also really weird. So I'm wondering if there was a traumatic accident or something that happened, maybe when his father died or something along those lines, where his eye got removed. And then also I was thinking, there's this supercomputer everyone keeps talking about that's locked inside of this vault, right? And I wonder if the thing you need to access that is retinal. I wonder if it's an eye scan, and the eye that he has in his eye is not actually his. It's like the person who would be in control of the vault. He just put it in there.
So his father?
Might not be his eye. Let us know. Like, these are off the wall theories. I have never read the books. I am just going off of what I'm seeing on TV, and I got a pretty crazy mind. And so I think that he's been lying about who he really is the whole time. He's not a bad person, but he was just a kid and he never got to mature. And now he's just trying to navigate a world where he thought he was alone. He thought he was solo, right? That's what I thought was happening with some of those dumps that were going on.
I can totally see him being childish because he's been stuck in like isolation for so many years. So he's kind of reverted to a safe place.
You think he regressed due to trauma?
No, I'm saying that I could see that.
Okay.
I came to the same conclusion you did when we were in the kids scene where he's talking about the girl he sat next to.
Yeah, Lapis. She's sitting next to me. She liked my blue eyes. And then when she questions him, he's just like doesn't have a straight answer. So I'm thinking he was a kid when it all went down.
He's still very helpful for her, though.
Yeah, well, he's still been locked in that vault
Fighting
forever.
himself.
Yeah.
He's fighting himself at every turn. How many times do you keep wanting to run back to the vault?
Yeah. I think he's also maybe having some memory issues, right? Because like there's multiple times where he's like, did I lock the vault? Is the vault secure? Which happened multiple times throughout the episode. So either like the trauma to his head or the fact that he didn't really develop or something's going on there where he's like almost like his like mind resets and it's like, oh wait, I don't know anything. Like where am I? What am I doing? Yeah. But yes, like you said, incredibly useful character. And because I think because he's been locked in the vault for so long, he has a wealth of knowledge that normal silo, I keep calling it a vault, normal silo dwellers don't have. Right, because the normal silo dweller of Silo 18 has no idea about the outside world, really. They have no idea why the world was taken, like, and why they live in a silo. They just know they do that. They live by the order. They go about their days. But apparently, getting access to this secret room that the order keeps allows you to get knowledge of all of that.
Yeah, it's a huge burden, too. Imagine having all this wealth of knowledge that you can never tell anyone else.
Yeah. And now he's trying to share it, but he's sharing the circus. And this is the silliest things he could think of.
Yeah, if you still go back to the whole the child thing, that's what gets kids excited.
Yeah.
Then again, look at the judge. How so much in wonder she was when she gave an audience to the one dude about to go in the mines.
Yeah, right. Lucas something.
He was talking about the stars and stuff, and she was
The guy from the cafeteria.
yeah.
Yeah.
I know she was testing him to see how dangerous his curiosity was, but at the same time, she appreciated every second of that interaction with him before she had to come back to her senses and be like, oh, fuck, I got to do something about him still, which was very sad.
I think she's also incredibly curious, but which is the reason why she has to go out and wants to get out of there. She just wants to go explore and get away from it all and just, go see what it is. But I think also she has a deep tie to the order and like a respect for how things run and why they run the way they do, which ultimately leads to, her reducing his sentence, but still putting him in the mines and then ultimately not making it out of this episode. But that was crazy. Let's dive into that. What did you think of the dinner scene?
From watching it the way they had it set up, the actor and actress were phenomenal in that. You could see the reservation, the fear, and everything in Bernard's eyes as he's going through this whole thing. But at the same time, he's still appreciating every little moment that he has with her. And you really see that kindness come out after she's already been poisoned.
Yeah.
And speaking of the poisoning, I was right, though. Sims did do it behind his back. He was doing things behind.
Yeah, your theory that he was kind of feeling a little like brushed off, like he deserved a little more entitled than what he was getting, right? And I think his wife also feeding into that a little bit pushed him to do the things he did. But you were right, yeah. Sims was operating outside of the mayor's approval, trying to get what he believed he deserved, which was the ability to run the order.
So back to the judge. The moment that she realizes that she was poisoned, he's like, yeah, it's not in the wine. I wasn't sure if you're going to drink the wine. And he's like, yeah, it's in the mushrooms because he knows her so well.
Yeah.
And that 3 little minutes or 5 little minutes that they had while she's very quickly dying, he goes and gets like an Oculus, puts it on her so that she can see
The jungles of Costa Rica.
Yeah. And it was so sweet and caring the way he held her.
Yeah.
Even though he felt, he was so conflicted with what he had to do. And that's why I went on a little tangent about Sims, is because he feels it's Sims' fault.
Yeah, I think there's going to be, he lets Sims know that he was aware it was him, and I believe that there will be a future reckoning where the mayor gets even with him for what he did. I think that there's going to come a time here, and probably towards the end of this season, where Sims feels the wrath of that, feels the repercussions of scheming behind the mayor's back. Because the mayor, he's an interesting character. I think it's played very well because inherently he's not an evil person. He's caring, he's loving, he's like not a bad guy, but he's blindly loyal to a code that makes him do evil things. And I think that's an interesting like you said, he like almost struggles with that, like he was at dinner, where he's killing someone he loves, but he has to because of the repercussions of letting her go out or letting her disappear, retire, or any of those things would be way worse. And a direct violation of the thing he's been upholding, saying he will uphold for many, many years. It's not as long as we've known him. So I think it's an interesting character because our villain isn't necessarily like the I want to watch the world burn Joker style evil, where it's, you know, just chaos. It's an actual person battling his own morality, but doing evil things because of something he swore to.
Mm-hmm. One of the things that pained me a lot was when Bernard was talking about wanting to spend time with her, and she was like, I didn't leave because I didn't want to spend time with you. It was like, I wanted to spend every single day with you for the rest of my life kind of thing. And you could see the pain in that man's face.
Yeah, well, I think she goes on to further say, I was willing to do that with you, but you were not willing to let go of the code. Let go, like you would never actually be with me because you're so dedicated to this thing that literally you're killing me because of. So I knew,
Twist.
yeah, like I knew you would never be able to. Where do you think she goes for those 4 days? He asks her while they're on the couch, where did you go when you renounced being my shadow? You disappeared for I think it was like 4 days. Like, where did you go? Where do you think she went? The silo's only so big and she's never been outside of it. Where did she go?
Downstairs?
Down deep? Like all the way down to like where the water is?
Yeah.
Interesting.
To the names.
We should talk about that too, because that was a very enlightening scene.
Talk about all the different times that they rebelled.
Yeah.
And for the reasons why, and how maintenance was always the scapegoat.
Well, that's written into the code. Like it's written into the like the playbook for the order.
They don't know that.
Right. But
You see the characters come in at realization.
right. In this episode, Knox mentions that this is not the first rebellion. Matter of fact, the last one wasn't even the first one. We basically have had one every generation, and it's always been Mechanical's fault. And yeah, they're coming to that, like you said, they're coming to that realization where it's like, no matter what the chaos event is at Catalyst, it always comes back to Mechanical. And why? Well, because Mechanical holds all the power. Mechanical is literally the reason the silo runs. And so if they decided to stop doing their jobs or turn on the silo, it's the end of the silo, which I gave them just a little bit of a taste of with their red ball, green ball thing, which was, I thought it was interesting that they panned to the mayor, really focused on the balls
And the colors.
and what they were doing. Yeah, so that may come back to haunt them later too.
I thought that was really cool. So Knox is leader of the Down Deep for maintenance and stuff like that. But when he was talking about the names on the wall, the first thing he had mentioned was, I thought these were just the founders' names.
Yeah,
I was a kid. That's what he was thinking. Like, I thought this was just the founders, just signing it, kind of like kids doing wet cement type thing.
yeah, for sure.
And then he came to realization, and I thought that was really cool because it shows the difference of where humans are as children, hopeful, naive, and then as you grow up, you come to certain realizations and you become quite jaded. And I feel like in that short little few line interaction between the two of them, that they portrayed that perfectly in my eyes. I'm not sure if that was intentional, but that's what I got from it.
Yeah. We definitely got to see a lot of enlightened realizations on both of the Knox and Cheryl's part. Also, because they're going on like this journey of discovery together, basically now, it's reuniting them. And then ultimately, as we see at the end of the episode, they have no choice but to be a united front now because they are on the lam. They're running back down deep and being chased by basically everyone from the middle to the upper. Everyone who's not down deep is coming after him.
Well, hold on. Didn't talk about how Bernard is fucking himself over.
He has been for multiple episodes.
Yeah, hold on. He's fucking himself over, and he's not listening to the judge's dying words anymore. Like, he's not learning his lesson.
He only thinks he's got it in control.
Yeah. He set those two people from down maintenance, Knox and what's her name? Cheryl.
Yeah, I think that's her name.
Set them up to take the fall for the judge's death. He had Sims stab the woman he loves after she's dead to pin them.
Yeah.
Which I have a feeling our sheriff here is definitely going to investigate this. And if the body was stabbed after she's dead, the heart's not pumping, so less blood.
I think it's never even going to get to that. And that's why they set it up the way they did. So the mayor let them get away just enough so that
There could be a chase.
there could be a chase, right? So it seemed fair, but at the same time, the mayor and Sims, their whole goal is not for the authorities of the silo to take this to court, to do an investigation, to make sure that justice is served. It's to have a full-on freaking lynching. Like, just the mob mentality, go kill them, and we'll get silo justice for the people. And I think that is what, and I know that is what the mayor and Sims are banking on, right? They're banking on the fact that the mob itself will be so massive and so big that the sheriffs will never be able to contain it or get to the bottom of it, and it will just be this massacre that ultimately gets rid of their problem.
Well, if you remember, the sheriff is already doing his own investigation with one of the deputies, the long-haired dude from down in maintenance.
Yeah, and right now they're looking for the shooter.
Yes, two bodies.
Well, one body, because the other body's missing. We don't know what happened to it. Apparently, he might still be alive.
Both bodies are missing.
Well, Coop's body got taken to judicial. One body got taken. They have no idea where that second body went. That's what they said. And they're like on this quest to figure out what happened to the body. And then later in the episode, they figure out that it wasn't necessarily a kill shot and that he's probably still alive. But that's the thing, though. Even if he's still alive, he's gonna be a freaking scrambled egg, because Sims and him, the promise was, you go do this thing, I'll erase your memory for the last 20 years. So even if they do find the guy, he's going to be a vegetable. He's going to be worthless to them. He's not going to be able to, he won't even know his own name, basically.
But if he was dead and just got up and walked off, then he didn't have the injection yet.
He wouldn't be dead and walked off. Judicial would have came and grabbed him. I don't think he walked off. I think the whole thing is being orchestrated by Sims. Like, Sims is like working this whole thing behind the scenes, with the guy who shot him being one of his former enforcer guys, with him working the deal out with Patrick himself. I think Sims is the one working all of this. The body disappearing, Coop's body going up the judicial, all of that is Sims working and playing some sort of play that now the mayor is aware he's doing.
Yes. And he's going to get his just desserts, and I can't wait for it.
That's what I believe anyway, just based on watching. I'm theorizing based on TV show only. I have no knowledge of the books. I thought was interesting is that Jules finally figures out how to create this underwater breathing apparatus, thanks to Solo pointing out how whatever that animatronic piano, how that works.
Yeah, it's like he wants to teach her almost, because he's not giving her the answer right away, but he's giving strong enough hints, right? He's like, hey, listen to this, right? He's not like straight up like, yo, check this out. Underneath, this is going to work for you.
Do you think he knows?
I feel like he's done it before.
Do you think he's like super intelligent and he's just trying to teach her? Or is he just like, hey, I have a basic concept of what's going on here, and I think it would work very similar to what you're trying to build. I don't think he's as smart as someone who could put two and two together and then try to teach her that. I just think he's just like happens to come across these things.
I'm not sure yet.
Let us know what you think in the comments. Is he smart? Is he teaching her? Is he just like kind of like hinting towards some things?
He was very concerned about having her put it back together, though.
Yeah. I think he likes playing with it. I think he likes the music aspect of it. But that goes back to that childish mind. Mm-hmm. He doesn't want to lose the toy.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Like, it could go either way right now, and I think that's really cool with what they're doing.
Yeah.
And Steve Zahn, like I said, he is fucking killing it with that character.
Yeah. So There's a couple things that are happening with inside that silo that I think are leading away from my original theory. One, they only have one suit. So even if they decide to leave, well, which is Jules' intention, he doesn't have a suit to protect him, so he can't leave.
Wait.
Well, as far as we know yet, there is only one suit and no helmet.
Remember what Bernard said in the previous episode, that he has a special suit just for him that actually works? Because he was going to give it to a judge.
Yeah, but isn't it fitted for him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean there's not another suit in there
Okay.
that he could possibly wear.
Could possibly wear. But wouldn't he also just offer her the suit? If she's on a quest to find a suit, wouldn't he just offer her the suit?
Why? He won't even let her in the vault.
All right. If all she wants to do is leave and all he wants to do, well, I guess he doesn't want her to leave. He's the only person he's seen for a long time.
And she's nice.
Yeah. So maybe he does go, maybe he doesn't. That still doesn't solve the fact that Jules has no helmet. She broke hers, and she never got a helmet from the locker that she just went into. So she still can't leave. She still has to solve the breathing outside, the toxic air, just to solve that problem, which is great because it's building up the exact climax and tension that we need for building up the exact tension we need for the climax that is coming, because we have the revolution coming to a kind of a head inside of Flight 18. We now have our leaders of the revolution having to step up because they're being in pursuit. We're going to see this clash turn into either a full-on takeover of the silo or someone important that we like inside of here ultimately losing their life, which could be crazy as well. But will Jules be able to get back and let them know in time that what they're doing might not be the best thing for their livelihood is really the big question. And right now we don't have a definitive answer if she can do that. And things are really heating up in Silo 18. So I think we're coming into the final couple episodes of this season really being high action. A lot of things are going to be laid out for us, and I'm excited for it.
Bernard, I think, knows that the revolution is coming, that the uprising will happen. He's hoping by getting top first bottom that might quell it a bit, but he knows it's coming and he is just turning up the heat over and over. Now, I have a sneaking suspicion.
Do you think he's turning up the heat for the rebellion, or do you think he's trying to find a way to completely stop it? Because he says when she dies or she's dying, he says to the judge, she says, "What good will my death bring the silo?" And his answer, in a nutshell, is unity. It'll bring us back together. It'll unite us all under one common thing again. So I don't know if maybe I was wrong in hearing what you said, but I don't think he's turning up the heat to build a rebellion and start this big fight. I think what he's doing is trying to find a way to have everyone unite again under one banner.
Yeah, I think he's gone about wrong, because he is turning up the heat because he wants the top to take care of the dirty work for him so they don't appear as the bad guys. What he's not counting on is how unified the down deep really is. But what I was talking about with the sneaking suspicion is they're either going to leave off on the season finale of Jules and Solo just leaving the silo, just starting to leave, going outside, or they're just going to get to the silo and that's where they're going to leave it off, with shocked faces of Bernard being like, "What have I done? I'm remembering everything that I did wrong," and second guessing himself and doubting himself.
Yeah, and it would be an homage, a nod to season 1 to have both seasons end with a silo, walking out of a silo.
Well,
Yeah, sure.
always ends with Jules leaving.
Right? Yeah,
Season.
absolutely. What do you guys think? Let us know in the comments. Was this a good episode? How do you think the season may end? If you enjoyed it, drop a 2. Let us know. All right, guys, we really appreciate you guys tuning in. Don't forget, if you have not already, hit that subscribe button below. If you like this video and want to watch more of our reviews on this series, we have a whole playlist for it right here. If you really enjoy other fantasy series, we do other reviews, such as Dune that we're doing right now. You can check out playlists for those right here. We also have something else you might like right up here. But as always, guys, make sure you subscribe and hit the little notification bell to all so you never miss an episode. We drop 2 a week. And we can't wait to see you on the next video. My name is Chris, as always with me.
Bye.
Find the strength hiding in each battle scar. You're not who you were, you've already come far.